Okay, let me go back here. How to write an academic assignment. I mentioned that the first thing to do is for you as a writer to understand the question. What is the question asking me to do? Okay, what am I supposed to do? What am I required to do? Okay, what am I supposed to write? Okay, be able to understand what academic style am I going to use? Okay, what referencing system am I going to use? What fonts am I going to use? It's the spacing. Be able to understand all that. Anyway, some lecturers are going to bring out certain things. Some will tell you, for me, I want 1.5 spacing. Okay, others tell you, I want you to use 1.5 spacing. Okay, then others will come and tell you, you know what, I want you to use Times New Roman or New Times Roman, Times New Roman, whichever, Times New Roman. Okay, then others will tell you, I want you to use font 12. Okay, font. Okay, not less than 10 pages. 10 pages. Okay, then yeah, then they'll tell you, okay, not less than 10 books. Less than 10 books. Okay, no plagiarism. They'll put all this stuff. Okay, and all that stuff. Okay, so you have been given this question. They have presented you with this question. With relevant examples, discuss the importance of communication skills in your social, academic, and professional life. Then they've given you these conditions. This paper that you're going to write should be 1.5 spaced. You have to use Times New Roman. Your font size should be 12. It should not be less than 10 pages. Okay, we need to understand this. This is the anchor of your research. Understand this. When you understand this, you're good to go. It shouldn't be less than 10 pages. What does this mean? Mean that your paper should not be less than the pages 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 10. It has to be more than 10. The last page, the least that you can write is 10 pages, but it shouldn't be less than 10. It has to be above 10 pages. Okay? Then when they say not more than 10, it has to be below 10 pages. The last page should be 10. Not less than 10 books. So meaning that the books that they're going to use to reference should be either 10 or more. Okay, pages 10 or more. No plagiarism, where you just get stuff from other writers without acknowledging the source of that work that you're getting. Okay, so fine, we have this question. Now let us break it down. What to do now after understanding the question, understanding the conditions that you have been given, the next thing to do now is for you to come up with a draft outline. Okay? You need to come up with an outline of your work. How am I going to approach this work in a way that will satisfy the marker? Okay? So firstly, they've asked you to bring out relevant examples in communication skills. What is the first thing that you need to do in order for you to answer this question properly? So firstly, remember, you need to number your work. Your 1.0 will be your introduction. Like I mentioned yesterday when we were looking at the research paper, your introduction is the anchor of your paper. Okay. You know what other lecturers do? They'll just read your introduction and your conclusion. They even grade you because your introduction is the anchor of your work. It is displaying and it is showing us what you're going to do in the main paper. Okay. It is giving us steps that are going to follow in your paper. The conclusion is actually giving us a summary of your work. What are the key points that you have discussed in your paper that should be included in your conclusion? So your 1.0, you introduce, okay? What should be contained in 1.0? After you introduce, what should be contained in this paper? Should you go directly or straight to explaining the importance of communication skills in social, academic, and professional life? No. You need to help us understand the meaning of communication. What is communication? What is communication skills? Okay, so the 1.1 should be understanding communication. What is communication? Okay, or what is communication skills? Since we're looking at communication skills, what is communication skills? Define it. Okay, bring out the necessary definitions from well-known writers, not which pante writers. You know what I mean? Okay, so define what communication skills is. After giving us a definition from different writers, build it up. Okay, what do you understand by those definitions? How do you understand those definitions from your own words? Okay, be able to interpret that particular definition of those definitions that I'm going to give. After defining what communication is, you're now going to take us now in the main thing. Okay, fine. Yeah, we have introduced, I've given these people the steps that I'm going to follow in writing this assignment. Then secondly, I have defined what communication skills is. They have understood. Now, what is the next thing to do? I'm being asked now to discuss the importance of communication skills with relevant examples to be given in social, academic, and professional life. The next thing to do is that I'm now going to present the importance of communication skills. Okay? That is my 1.2. Okay, let me just do this. Okay, then after you discuss the importance of communication skills, remember you're discussing it from a general perspective. You have not gone to the specifics. The specifics are social, academic, and professional life. That is how you're supposed to approach this paper. Of course, you're going to bring out the importance of communication skills in a general sense. Okay, what have other writers said about communication and its importance to everyday life related to different things? Then after you do that, remember, you now need to narrow it down. Your 1.2.1 should be social life. Okay? Your 1.2.2 should be your academic life. Okay? Then your 1.2.3 should be your professional life. So you have brought out all these, okay? So you introduce, you define what communication skills is, you give us the importance of communication skills. Then after explaining this importance in general terms, then you narrow it down. You go back to the question. What is it asking me to do? I need to explain it from a social perspective, academic and professional perspective. Then from there, most scholars and most writers will ask you to put up an analysis or critique. Then your 1.4 will be your conclusion. Your 1.5 will be your references. Okay. So you have introduced your work. We're looking at this question, remember? Let me go back to the question. Let me read it again. With relevant examples, discuss the importance of communication skills in your social, academic, and professional life. And this is how we have broken it down. Okay? So this is our outline from that question. We're going to introduce our work. Then we define what communication skills is. Then we give or present the importance of communication skills. After that, we now narrow it down because the importance here is just we're explaining from a general perspective. And then this should lead us to explaining now the importance of communication skills in one's social life, academic life, and professional life. Remember, when explaining these, you should also be citing relevant examples. When you explain the importance of communication skills in one's social life, also try to relate to real life. Give real life examples, okay, that are relevant. After that, if you want, remember, this is optional, okay? Your analysis or critique is optional. From the professional life, you can go directly to your conclusion and then you give your references. But if you want, you can put up an analysis which will make you look like a scholar. Of course, you're scholars, okay? In your analysis, you are basically analyzing, critically analyzing all what you have discussed, okay? Fine, you have presented all these, the importance of communication, but according to your own analysis, according to your own personal critique, what do you think of all these? So what you're doing is that you are now, in your analysis, you're giving your own understanding and your own perspective, okay, of this question and of all what you have said, okay, to discuss. So this is what we were actually dealing with. So this is a very important component of your assignment, because the marker will be interested in reading what other scholars have written about this subject, but this marker will also be interested in understanding what you think about this subject. And you're going to bring out this in your analysis or critique of this work. Then after that, you conclude. In your conclusion, you're giving us a summary. It is a summation of the main work, okay, of your main body. What are the key points that you raise? Okay, explain them, bring them out in the conclusion. After that, you offer us your references. Okay. Let's go to questions. I think at this point, let's go to questions before I give you I show an assignment, word an assignment in this. Miriam.
Okay, on the reference part, I would love to know, how do you reference an article, let's say a journal in the assignment,
okay,
and how you're going to write it on the reference part,
okay,
together with the magazine article.
okay, okay. Any other question? Anyone in the house?
Also, how to cite websites, like find an article on your website, on internet, on Google.
Okay. Any other question? Lucy, Leandro?
Yeah, I was not really going to ask a question, but because you put me on the spot, I'm going to ask. Also, I think most people struggle with in-text citation.
Yeah.
Because it's also part of the reference. Yeah, so I think we should tackle that a little bit.
Okay. Leandro?
I don't have a question. I think they've already asked on my behalf.
Okay, so the issue that we have here is referencing, of course. How do I cite using this journal, this other stuff, and this? Okay, sure, no problem. I'll look into that. So now let me give you a typical example of this work. Okay, just hold on. Okay. Okay, are you able to see this, guys? Are you able to see this?
Yes, we are.
Yeah, we can see it.
Good, good. Okay. So that question I was explaining on the outline and all that stuff is actually similar to this one, okay? So you have your introduction, okay? you explain what communication is or communication skills, you state the importance of communication, then social life or whatever, then you explain just like this is how you present. Now, this is your table of contents in an assignment, okay? So your first page is your cover page, okay? You write nicely there, your name, your details and everything. The second page is a table of contents, okay? Where you just, tabulate that, okay? And then whatever that you're going to bring out in your work should actually be based on this table of contents. You need to follow it coherently and systematically. You don't have to miss anything, okay? So our 1.0 was our introductions. An example. So you start as follows. Effective communication is the most important tool to achieve the desired purpose. Each and every step of our life, wherever we are, we need communication, verbally or non-verbally, on a daily basis to convey our ideas, thoughts, emotions, okay? So all that. So this is just a brief background about communication and everything, okay? And then after your first paragraph, where you give a brief background about communication skills and communication, your next paragraph should be an explanation or a statement of your assignment question. So the next paragraph is saying, in this assignment, one is required to discuss how Jane and Samuel can improve their communication skills in their social and professional life, as it happens that they're having problems in their relationship. Okay, so remember, depending on the school, they have their own requirements and the voice that you should use when you're writing an assignment. Some will say, I want you to use the third person, the we. In this assignment, we are required to discuss. I see you tell you in this assignment, one is required. You'll be required to use all these things. Okay, so you need to pay attention to the voice. The voice is very, very important. But remember, when you're writing an assignment, it is not only your voice that is in the paper. Remember, you have other voices of scholars, the works that you're citing, the works that you're looking at. All those are voices. No wonder why we say we. In this assignment, we shall do this, because you're also acknowledging the other scholars that are going to employ, that are going to use in your work. Okay. Then the next paragraph then should state clearly, okay, step by step, how you're going to tackle this question that you have stated. Firstly, you give a brief background about the question or communication. The second paragraph, you state the question. The third paragraph, you say, therefore, to effectively answer the above question to the expectation of the marker, one should firstly define the term communication, just like you have stated in your table of contents. You need to follow it the way it is, okay? So one should firstly define the term communication, then highlight the importance of communication. Furthermore, with relevant examples, discuss the importance of communication in Jane's and Samuel's social and professional life. And lastly, conclude. Of course, it is not well stated, but it's just an example anyway. So you need to follow it like this, okay? So first paragraph, give a brief background about the question. Then second paragraph, you try to tackle the question, just state the way it is. And then third, you effectively show us the steps that are going to follow for you to tackle this question efficiently. Okay. Then your 1.1 comes now. According to Shannon, 1998, the term communication is derived from the Latin communicare, whatever you are stating there, you explain. Therefore, communication refers to the act of conveying intended meaning from one entity or group to the other, whatever that stuff. So, after you state a definition, after you define, you even cite. Remember, writing an assignment is like a builder, okay, trying to erect a building, okay, or a house. What you do is that you get a brick, okay, you get some mortar, you like that. You're cementing. That is the way it is. When you state, when you define, you cite, it's like you're getting a brick, you put it there. That mortar should be a cementation, okay, where you now explain. What you're going to explain to that definition is what is going to cement this work. Remember, don't just have a work that is full of, citations and, other scholars' concepts and we also need to hear your voice. So after you define, make sure you explain that definition. Okay, so this is defined like that. Okay, so after stating this, then therefore communication refers to the act of conveying intended meaning from one entity or group to the other. Okay, so after defining that, explaining that, therefore, to be effective, communication requires the creation of a common understanding of ideas, desires, and observations among people. Okay, then after that, the 1.2 is the importance of communication. Okay, so firstly, the importance of effective communication can be gauged from the fact that we are communicating in some form. Now, look at this. This is how you cite. When you are defining something, remember, quotations are different. We have direct citations, we have indirect citations. When you're citing directly, always remember to use inverted commas, because it is going to show us that actually this person is citing directly. Okay, so for example, look at this. According to Shannon, 1998, mostly it is advisable you also include the page number. Okay, so like this, we're going to know. Then say communicare and everything, you know. So if for example, if this is a definition that you have quoted directly, maybe it is going to be like that. Okay, let me just close this part. So you have quoted directly, you haven't missed anything, you're just getting comma by comma, word by word by word by word. So this is a direct quotation. That's why you've put in inverted commas, and you've stated the page number for reference sake. Okay, in case I want to check, is it true this person quoted on this page? I'll be able to see myself. Okay, then after you give that direct quotation, then you're required now to explain what is in those inverted commas. Don't just leave it hanging like that, okay? Because it will be meaningless and your work will not be that nice and attractive. Make sure that after you cite, you explain. Okay, so you cite directly. When you are citing indirectly, this is an example. Look at this. Okay. So here we're stating, you say the importance of communication, whatever. Yes, some of these words were written by Asha Cow in 2009, but you have also added in your own voice. Okay, you have mixed, so meaning that you had this idea. Okay, you had this idea, but at the end of the day, what is going to cement your idea is what someone has already published. So remember, you can have a very nice idea in assignment, you can bring in your own nice ideas, but always remember that your ideas have to be supported. Do you understand? Your ideas have to be supported. Okay, don't just bring out stuff like that, because other people think you're just plagiarizing. Make sure that your ideas are supported by other writers. Okay, so a start manuals, whatever. So this is supported by Asha Cow. So this is an indirect citation. Okay, so you continue like that. Then you see, after that, then you delve into the social life. So you are explaining it from a general point of view, but on this one, you're looking at it now from a specific point of view. So you explain all that, you give good examples. Okay, yeah, you explain all that. Okay, after you do your explanation, you give your conclusion. Although this was very small, it has to be, you know, compact. And then last, you give your references. Someone was asking about referencing. Okay, so this is how you reference. Other people tell you Harvard, what we do is that those Roman numerals. Okay, the 1, the 2, the 3. But what you do is that when you're putting in these, you start with the surname. Okay, then the first name, then the year of publications. Okay, then the title of the work. Other people say the title should always be in bold, or it has to be italicized. Okay. Yeah. Some people say it has to be italicized. Other people say it has to be in bold. Okay, so you can go like that. Most of these are articles. So you just proceed like that. This is Asha Cow A2009 effective business communication. So you see this one was italicized. Okay, so this is showing us that this is the title of the New Delhi, the town of publication, and then the company, the publishing company should always come last when you are doing Harvard, from what we're told. Yeah, so this is it. And then, this is we're running out of time. We have 8 minutes. Intake citations. Remember, like I mentioned, you can have a very good idea, okay? But always remember that your idea has to be supported. And then when you're writing an assignment, make it interesting, okay? Use words, connecting words, such as the however, the thens, okay, the therefore, the what, okay? So like this one. Now let me show you something. There's something that I saw down here. Okay, so look at this. On social life. Social life refers to individuals' interpersonal relationship with people. This was the writer's thoughts, okay? But this has to be supported, okay? So now, the continuing sentences in social life, as noted by Wharton, 1992, one must know how to keep a conversation going. Use non-verbal communication, ask questions, understand whatever. So make sure that you connect ideas, okay? Through that, you are quoting within the paper. Okay, so through this, okay, like you give your idea in the first paragraph. The second paragraph, you put in a supporting idea by a writer. Okay, so this is how you're citing. When you're citing, you don't start with the brackets. Okay, you put Wharton 2009 said this and this and this and this. No, when you're starting, make sure that you start with a very, very nice word, nice connection with me, according to you. Okay, maybe 2009. If you don't know the page number. Okay, always make sure you start like that. When the citation is coming last, always make sure that it's in brackets, like this one here. This came last, okay? So you discover that this was actually an indirect citation where the ideas of the author and the ideas of the scholar where this was quoted from were intertwined. And so it was done in this particular manner, okay? And then just continue using this, but always make sure that you only use the brackets at the end of a sentence. This is when you quote like this. That is if it is an indirect quotation. If it's a direct quotation, make sure that you include the year of publication and the page number if necessary. Then always make sure that if you're quoting directly, put them in inverted commas. When you quote, make sure you explain that quotation. Okay? How do you quote from websites? How do you quote from journals? How do you present that in an assignment? Okay, so other people will tell you, say, okay, put www.chan. Make sure you get a legit site where you quote from. Get the name of the publisher, okay, the title of that, and then the hyperlink should always be there. The website, the HTTP, www, it has to be there. Also include the day of retrieval. When did you retrieve that particular work? That is in the references. But if you're quoting in the work using, a website, just say, maybe if there's a writer there, maybe according to John, okay, he mentioned this and this and this and this and this and this and this. But remember that in your references, always include all the details you're quoting from a website. Every website has a writer. Every article on a website has a writer. Okay, so if you're quoting from a website, make sure you include all those details. Make sure you include the date of retrieval, okay, the name of the author of that particular stuff, the hyperlink text, okay, where you collected that, you got that information from, data, and other details. Of course, even the year. the year should also be there. Okay, so but what I'm gonna do is that let me just prepare some notes on Harvard citation method. Okay, how to quote using a journal, how to prepare it in a bibliographical form, okay, in a referential form, in-test citations. Let me just prepare that for you guys so that this can have ample time to just go through everything and all that. But trust me, it's not difficult. It's very simple. Writing an assignment is very, very simple. Yeah. Then if you have any questions after I give you those notes, you can still ask. Yeah. Then a journal article, make sure you get the name of the writer, okay, of that particular article in that journal, okay. Get the name of the journal and everything. How do you present it inside? Remember, every journal has a day of publication. It has a year of publication, okay. It has a page number. Make sure you include all those in your references, okay. But I'll surely prepare all these other things for you guys. Yeah, unless there are other questions. Pressing questions.
Time's up.
Are we good? Guys, are we good?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
We are good.
We're good.
It's not really hard to write an assignment. It's as simple as this. So it all requires your time and your effort. Yeah, Frank, I've noted it was breaking out. I'll share the notes with you and the recording and everything so you can just just go through everything. So do you have anyone the pressing question on how to write an assignment? No?
Not really.
Not really, but there's a question.
Yeah.
Okay. So if you guys, I'm assignment in dedication fee. Understand the question, break it down in a way that is going to help you get as much data as you can for your work. Don't limit yourself. Okay? Bring in concepts that are going to help you, understand the question further and elaborate it further in the paper. Okay, then also learn the referencing system. Harvard is very good. Okay, so just learn how to cite, especially in-test citations and everything. Make sure that your work is supported. Okay, no plagiarism. Acknowledge every source that you use. All right, guys. I'm running 30 seconds. Thank you so much for your time. I've enjoyed, doing with you guys today. At least I hope you guys have learned something from this. And yeah, I hope you're going to improve in writing assignments and the research papers. If anything comes up, I'll be able to share. Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome, guys. I'll share the notes with
Thank you very much.
All right, guys. Sure, no problem.
Okay, thanks.
All right. Bye, guys.
Bye-bye.
Bye.